Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. I'm in my car. Can you tell? I'm going to record. I got ready to go to the pool. Got in my car, drove to the pool, and saw the pool man cleaning, and I said, shit, it's fucking Monday. I have no pool. So I went home, and then I thought I'll get ready to go to the bank because I needed to go to the bank to get $1 bills for my tips for when I order water at the bars. And so I got 50 $1 bills and I was going to the thrift store too, and then I decided it's quite warm, 101 right now, wearing a polyester shirt, which doesn't bother me if I'm in my car or anywhere with air conditioning, but the thrift store does not keep it cool in there at all, and it's Monday, so a lot of people might be there, so maybe I'll go tomorrow. But you know what? I just remembered. I went to the thrift store one day, hang on, and I wasn't able to record. So I have 2 thrift store shirts to show you. So let's do that right now. I didn't even remember this. This was last week, and I got 2 shirts that I really like. This one is on the smaller side, but I like maroon. I don't have any maroon, and yeah, so it looks like that. And I just remember that it's a little bit small. It's only a large. So sometimes I can take a large, but not in this one. I couldn't. And I think it was just like $4 for the 2 shirts and change. So there's that one. And then this one, I don't even remember what I got. That's why it's fun when I do my try-ons, because most of the shirts I don't ever look at again until the try-on. Oh, this one has black and white and a little bit of blue in it, and it's a slinky polyester. Of course, you know, I'll be taking this elastic cuff off and, you know, cutting the sleeves. Other than that, I think I remember liking it on me. So again, next try-on. I only have 4 shirts right now for a try-on, so I'll get a couple more, and then we'll do a try-on those, and then the video after that, because it's going to take me a while and I need to start working on it now. I would like to do a try-on from like the first time I did try-ons, those tight things. I would like to take the clips from those videos, and that's the time-consuming part, and put them on the new video, so you would see the clip of when I first tried it on, and then we will see me trying it on now. And I think I would like to do just a video of just that stuff, trying on the tight stuff or whatever. I'll call it something like that. But I'll wait till I have a couple more shirts for a regular try-on, and we'll do that. I'm going to fill you in on a couple more things about my neighbor. You guys were like highly invested in that story, according to the comments. Everybody had a lot to say about it, but I did want to fill you in. I ended up putting it in the caption of my video that I wanted to explain that my neighbor is 82. She was. I know her birthday was in April. I have not spoken to her or, you know, made eye contact with her since March. So I know she's 83 now, but she was 82. And some of you asked if she had family, and yes, she does. And this was an interesting thing that I learned in her grumpy days. Is I know her son. He would come if she needed, like, to have her car repaired or whatever, her truck. She drives a big truck. She still drives. She goes out, so she gets out all the time. So I met her son and her daughter-in-law. But she has a daughter that I didn't know about at the very beginning, and her daughter lives nearby also, but her daughter at the time, she said, hadn't spoken to her in over 10 years. So that tells you something right there. So is she narcissistic, my neighbor? She certainly has some narcissistic traits, and one of the things is that when a person like her puts people down, it's to hurt them so they can feel better. That's what a narcissist does, and I do see that she had some narcissistic traits. So her putting me down was a way to make herself feel better. It's not just that she's just a grumpy old lady. She was purposely now wanting to hurt me because I was healing, and she didn't like that. She wants somebody who is down and out, as my mother did. My mother did not like it if I was happy. She would find ways to make me miserable, want to start a fight, pick a fight with me. And if I would be like, Ma, not today, not doing it today. And if I'd go like to start sewing or doing something, she would come out, and she still could, walk enough, and she would just make sure she did something to drive me insane, to the point where I would just end up losing my mind. And that was her big sigh of relief. She accomplished what she wanted, and she was very, very happy that she made me miserable. And that's what Bonnie was starting to do. And what was the other thing that I wanted to say? Oh yeah, and the other thing that I didn't like that she wasn't doing when I was miserable is that she started putting down all the neighbors. And that was probably the time that she ended up telling me not to ever park behind my apartment building, and was very concerned. Like I said, even in front of my apartment, I could park pointing toward my apartment, or I could turn and go that way, and right there I could park, but I was away from it. She didn't want me parked away, facing away. Like, what the fuck difference is that gonna make? And it was so stressful, and I was so ready to leave her, and I actually did talk to her like that. This is the last fucking time, I was swearing at her. I was mad, and like I said, and she was just being mad at me as I turned and walked away. And that's when I knew, she didn't even have an ounce of understanding. She liked that she made me mad, and she wanted to keep me mad as I was trying to fucking unlock my door and get away from her, get back into my apartment. Is that all I wanted to mention about her? Again, her age, and that she does have family, and that it was just very stressful, probably for the last January, March, 3 or 4 months that I talked to her, because my mother died in March of that year of 2022. So from March to November, I was pretty down and out, just trying to figure out my life. And so those months were okay. And then after November, when I started changing my life, is when it all fell apart, because she didn't like that. And then I had told you she didn't like me shopping at thrift stores, but then I also mentioned in that video that she started putting down my clothes. That was different. The thrift store thing is that she just wanted me to spend more money. I deserved to have better things, and she knows how thrifty I am, and that's part of my joy. And I would explain that to her repeatedly, and she would still say, I don't know why you want to go to those thrift stores. And it was just like, will you just fucking get it through your head? I explained it to you 5 times so far. But then she started just saying that I shouldn't wear certain things. And one time I went out, and I was going out, and I, get this is narcissistic behavior, specifically called her and told her I was going out, and asked, can I come over and show you my outfit? And she said, yes, absolutely. So she knew that was important to me, that outfit, right? And when I came in, I showed her, and this is at the very beginning, and I, still didn't have all that hate. It's when I first started going out, because it was a shirt that I bought, one of my first shirts. And so I showed her, and she never said it looked nice or anything. There was no compliment. Instead, she wanted to give me a blanket or something that she had pulled out of a closet, and I was like, oh no, I'm trying to, always get rid of things. I don't need that. And then I ended up going out. Well, the next day I saw her, and she said, don't you ever wear that outfit that you had on yesterday. That did not look good on you. I was so crushed. I was so crushed that it was enough that she didn't say I looked nice, but she waits 24 fucking hours to tell me that I'm not to wear that outfit again. And I didn't wear that shirt again. It's still in my closet. I couldn't bring myself to wear it. And now it's too big, and now I'm thinking of redoing it into something else, because I felt sad that I couldn't wear that, because even though I don't have to listen to her, shit like that sticks. And like I said, I was just in the very beginning stages of healing, and it was, it just, it stopped me from wearing the shirt. that I liked so much. You guys will remember it if I take it out. It was like the first shirt that I bought at Walmart that I was so happy I found a shirt that I liked and that it fit me. And she destroyed that for me. Now, had I never said that I wanted to come over to show her that, if she would have just seen me in it, she probably would have never come out with it that way. Maybe would have even said, oh yeah, you look nice, you know. But she knew that that shirt was important to me, and she wanted to take that away from me because it was important, just like my mother, like my toys disappearing, my favorite things, you know. So it's very interesting to me. It really is. But yeah, I'm not letting any narcissists into my life anymore. Okay, I'm going to shut this off, and I'm going to think clearly as to what I want to tell you next. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit now about Thrifty Guy. That fell apart. It fell apart quick. And I told you that I had a backstory about that. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about a guy that I was seeing a little bit and having a good time with him and had hopes that we were going to do some cool things together. Thrifty Guy. Do you remember Travel Man from a little bit back? There is a video. I don't know. I don't even want to take the time to go looking for it. There's so many videos. But I had done some videos, maybe more than one, about Travel Guy or Travel Man. I think I was calling him Travel Man. And he was in Arizona. We texted for like 3 weeks. And that last week when he was coming home, the whole time he was in Arizona, which is why I hadn't met him yet. Because I don't wait 3 weeks to meet somebody. But when he started coming home, the communication started to get less and less, to the point where by the time he got home, he wasn't willing to set up a time to meet. All I wanted was for us to set up a time to meet, because I didn't want this little back and forth bullshit that it was dwindling down to, and then just never meet. And I really wanted to meet him because I had pretty much proven to myself, I was satisfied knowing, you know, thinking he's a real person. And I was curious, and I wanted to talk to him about like what's going on. So I wanted to see if somebody could be completely different in person than in texting. So we stopped texting. He was the one that when I asked him about lying, he even said something like, what did he say? We'll get to the stage 2 line of questions later or something, and you guys were cracking up about that in the comments. I will look to see if I can, you know, find that video, and I'll put it in the description box if I do. Okay, just on the description box, in the description box. I like my end screen to be like more, you know, popular things. I ended it at that time, and I was just like, he was like thinking I was pissed at him. He used the word pissed because he was too busy and this and that, and it was just a shit show. And after 3 weeks, I started thinking about him and saying, I wonder, I'm just curious. Now, this was all experimental. Oh yeah, so what I'm getting to is that Travel Man is Thrifty Guy. Okay, so that's the backstory. That's the connection. So I contacted him, and he texted me right back. This is a full 3 weeks that there was no communication. I was the last one to text him, and he never texted me back. Texted me back right away, and I just asked him. I said, I'm just really curious what the reason was, why you ended up not wanting to meet me. And he said he did want to meet me, but he was like at the beginning playing along that he would go to live music. He liked that, and that he does dance. And you know, I have it in texts, you know, so are you okay with live music and dancing? He says yes to both. And I remember reading that and was like, oh yes, this is so cool. But now he wanted to, you know, tell me that it's because he isn't really into that. So it was just very, you know, blah, and it was boring excuses, and excuses that he, you know, he could have just told me. He could have told me that at the beginning. But I was still determined, and I was determined to meet him because I wanted the experience of just meeting him. I just played nicely back and forth, and we met, and the meeting was awesome. And I was like, okay, some people probably can be very different in texting and just don't know how to handle it. Again, I give people the benefit of the doubt. I really do. And I understand they can be red flags. And, you know, of course, those red flags, they were still there. He didn't have to ghost me, you know. But I thought maybe he's just uncomfortable. And then after that, he ended up coming to surprise me at the thrift store when he knew I was going to the thrift store, because he lives right near the thrift store. And that was really nice. And we went to, we shopped at the thrift store together, and I helped him get a bedspread for him to make curtains, and I was like impressed that he was going to make his own curtains, which he did for his little trailer. And then we had gone to his house. I don't think I said it in that video because I didn't want you guys to think or know about the trailer. I didn't want you guys to connect the fact, is she like with travel, man? So, and he had showed me his trailer and what he wanted to do with the curtains, and that was it. I didn't go in, but we were outside, and then from there we went to a restaurant and had water and iced tea. So I was glad that even though he had told me that he drinks some beer at night, that he didn't like the feeling of getting drunk. He didn't drink a lot at all and doesn't drink during the day, so he had iced tea, and that was good. And then even after that, it started to fall apart again in the texting, and I was like, but we recovered from that. So then things were all good again, and we were seeing each other and having a good time. And then we had planned, this was on a Wednesday, we had planned that the next day, which was a Thursday night, that we might go camping, depending how he feels, how he felt, just a one-nighter right here, like in Hernando. And I was all for that. And then if not that, we were going to just get together. We were going to do something, go to a store, walk around, whatever. We were going to do something. And I even joked with him that night, like, I'm going to be texting you in the morning. Please reply, because I worry that he's going to just drop off and not reply to me. And he's like, yes, I will. So he texts me when he woke up, and I was like, yes, good morning to you too, that kind of thing. And just let me know if you've changed your mind. My exact words were, if you're no longer motivated to go camp tonight, or just not in the mood, just let me know. That's okay. If you want to do something else, I'm still up for that. So I was really giving him a way out to not have to do any of these things, because I don't care. And I it's like, that's okay. You don't have to want to do these things. Never heard from him until that night. And the only way I heard from him is by going to his place, because now I wanted to, just know what is going on. And my phone wasn't working. I had gone out alone because I never heard from him, and I went to Sidecar, and now my phone wasn't working. I couldn't look up things online. I wasn't sure if the phone, the actual texting was working or not. So he was 5 minutes down the road, so I went there, and he got upset with me because all of a sudden I was trying to tell him how to run his fucking life, because I said, I waited all day. Why didn't you text me? I wasn't supposed to say that. That was drama. And he fucking let me know that was drama and that he wasn't putting up with it. So the moral of the story is, and it ended nicely there too, because I understand that people just are fuck-ups, and I don't hate him for that. He does drink more than he said, and he said just light beer. Beer is beer. Beer is alcohol. I mean, people would say, but I only drink beer, or I only drink wine. It's fucking booze. You're getting buzzed. You're going to be a fucking idiot. That's all there is to it. And one time when I was at his house, even though he was drinking his light beer, all of a sudden he pulled out a bottle of vodka and was chugging, not chugging, but, it was a small bottle. He said it's a small bottle, so that didn't matter. It's a small bottle. You fill from a bigger bottle. You keep it by your TV. So vodka was in the mix. So that was something that I didn't know, and that he never mentioned until he needed his vodka, I guess. And so the moral of the story is, red flags are usually set in stone. Not only now was he flipping out on me via text and just ignoring me, but he literally was flipping out in person, and I didn't like that. But like I said, it ended on a good note. He has texted me a couple of times, but not mentioning anything about going out. I think he knows that that part is done, Do I think that he feels bad that he talked to me that way? Not at all. And it was it was it was not just a couple of words. It was, it was just not pretty. It's causing all the drama. And he was the one causing the drama, because all he had to do was text me and say, you know what, I'm not sure yet. If you don't mind, give me the rest of the day. Maybe I'll be in the mood tonight, or if you don't want to wait, just go out. Because I told him, if you don't want to do anything, I'm making plans to go out. So I don't know. Was it a little bit of that he wanted to ruin me making plans? I don't know. Was he waiting until late? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He agreed the night before that we would text the next day, and he never texted me back. So I can't fucking deal with that shit. I just can't. And I can't be accused of the one causing the drama over the fact that I was seriously concerned. I went there thinking something happened. Something had to have happened, because he would have texted me. And instead it blew up in my face, because I don't have to text you anytime I don't want to. You can't force me to text you. I wasn't forcing you. You agreed you would text me. We have plans for tonight, one of which might be camping. I need to get ready for that. And you just decide to just never contact me at all. It blows my mind. So it's discouraging. It's very discouraging out there. But my experiment was well worth it, because people can be different, not texting. I wish texting was completely out of the picture sometimes, but I don't really want to do. Texting is very convenient. It's very easy for people to become assholes via text. Like, they want to just dump you, but they don't know how to do it in person, or maybe they're not really sure, so they just let things dwindle and they just hope you go away. I think that's what the deal is. But I got to meet Travel Man, and you guys know that I was like disappointed that I didn't get to meet him, because I wanted that experience, not because I was disappointed that I didn't have Travel Man in my life. I was just really curious to take that next step, and I thought I would. So now I'm back, to square one, messaging a lot of guys. I was still messaging while I was seeing him, because there was nothing serious, but kind of took a little step back there at the very end. I was like, phew, I don't have to, be dealing with all the, the dating site bullshit and stuff like that. But now I'm right back in. So we're going to find somebody else. Okay? So I just wanted to tell you that. And I wasn't trying to be sneaky with you guys. I seriously was just experimenting, and I wanted to see what was going to happen. And I didn't want you guys to know at that point that I was talking about Travel Man, but his new name was Thrifty Guy. So it was rocky. And it's too bad that he drinks, because drinking really does ruin people in more ways than they will ever know. He had times where he was just so nice and so fun, and I believe that was the real him. It's the booze that ruins it. Just like my brother, and it reminded me of my brother. And when I was telling this story, my son said, Derek said, "Ma, that sounds like Uncle Sonny." And it is. My brother could be the sweetest man when sober. He would tell me he loved me. He was so happy that I was calling him, and he wished so much that I could take him for rides. But I always feel bad about that, because he seemed to think that I was still in Houston like I was some years ago with my husband. But he was very, very kind and loving. But when he was drunk, he could call me every name under the sun and just be hateful, hurtful, mean, and all because of alcohol. And now I'm going to go tonight to Neil's alone. I have no friends that are able to go. I don't think they'd even want to go. It's karaoke, which I'm not into, but I am into meeting other people, and I haven't been to the one at Neil's. Teresa was there last Monday. She went. I couldn't go with her because I had Derek's watch party. Tonight I'm going to go alone. I know some of the karaoke gang now, so I know I'll have people to sit with. And I'm just going to get out of the apartment. I did not go out last night. I don't know if I mentioned that. And my head was just tired, and I didn't feel like I should be on the highway driving the way my head felt. So instead, I told Derek, I said, hey, you want me to come over and we'll watch part 3 of the Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary? We had watched 2 parts one night, and he's like, do you have any wings? And I said, no, but I can get some. And so I did, and I cooked wings at his place while we were watching that, and it was a nice, peaceful night, and I am very, very grateful, like I said, that that we're both sober people, and that we have the opportunity to get to know each other, especially for him to get to know me, and me to get to know him, because like I said, I put him through hell as a kid, just because I was not available to him. I chose drinking first and going out, and left him with his narcissistic grandmother. So he had, and his father wasn't available. His father had moved to North Carolina, so he only saw his father a few times. So he had a lot of shit, a lot of shit thrown at him, and he has, come out of that. And the only thing that I feel like I did right to make us be able to have the relationship we have now is that I never fucking denied a thing that I did, where my mother couldn't be held accountable for anything, because everything I ever said to her, she said I was lying, I was sick in the head, you're a sick little girl. Even said she had me examined when I was 2, and I was told, the doctor told her that I was never going to be well, that I was always going to be the way I was. I used to have tantrums, and I know I had tantrums. I was scared to death of so many things, including my mother. Not just scared physically, but she used to scare me, like make scary faces and tell me that the devil was next to me. It was awful. You know what? Those of you who know nothing about that, go check out my channel, Growing Up Crazy. I haven't posted on it for a while, but I started it, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And it's all about my relationship with my mother and narcissists in general. Growing Up Crazy. I'll put it, it's probably in the description box already. I'll make sure it is. Go check that out. You'll know what I'm talking about when I talk about my mother. But it's good now. It's good now, and I absolutely am thrilled that I live here, that I live with him, that I get to be, not with him. Did I say that? Live near him? I don't know what I just said. That we get to not only be together, but we get to share this awesome career that he has created for himself, and that he gets to witness this life that I finally have. And he's happy for me, and I'm happy for him. But I still would like, some other guy in my life too, not because I need him to be happy, but it is a little part. I like to be with somebody. I'd like to have somebody to go out with and to dance with me, and not just men friends. It's just a little bit more special if you have an attraction with someone, and that they're not an asshole. That's a big plus, right? So I'm having fun looking. I'm going to continue looking. I will continue to keep you updated on all of that stuff. Now, I talked a very long time. I'm considering it my therapy session. Thank you so much for watching. Go check out my Growing Up Crazy channel, and I'll be back with more soon. Bye.